When I think of innovation, and I teach this at Singularity University, at Abundance 360, we focus on this at X Prize. Innovation is when an individual has an idea from reading a book or having a problematic experience, and then takes that idea and shares it with somebody. And that person builds on the idea and shares it back. And it's a going back and forth. It comes from that building of ideas rapidly and rapid experimentation. Burt Rutan taught me something. He said, the day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. And so I ask CEOs all the time, where inside your company are you trying crazy ideas? And if you're not trying crazy ideas, if you're trying sort of incremental ideas, you're stuck in incrementalism. You're never going to innovate. You're never going to expand. And so innovation really is this rapid experimentation of trying 100 ideas, 99 are failing, and one works, and then you build on that one. You try over and over again. So, the traditional way of solving a problem, a grand challenge, has been as a philanthropist or as a company, you grab a chunk of money, you grab an innovator, you give it to them and say, fix this problem. Very traditional, but pretty linear. What we do at the X Prize is we say, here's a chunk of money. I don't care where you went to school, what you were done before, your race, creed, or color, man or woman, doesn't matter. If you solve this problem, you win. And so what we do in this sense is we're running hundreds of experiments in parallel. And so while the Ansari X Prize had 26 teams from 7 countries, some of our competitions have thousands of teams that have registered. And it's sort of this Darwinian competition going on where crazy ideas get a chance to see the sunlight and get experimented with, and you only pay the winner. And so it's really a wonderfully new and fresh mechanism of innovation. The concept that we use at the X Prize, and I use a lot, is crowdsourcing. And it's really being clear about what your goal is. If you don't have a goal, you'll miss it every time. And so if you're brainstorming or you're trying to innovate around what? You might say, listen, we want $1 million worth of revenue, and we want it to be very specifically in this area, and we want whatever it might be. We want to sell books, we want to do whatever. You have to define very clearly what you want to achieve with a clear objective goal. And then if you're able to share that objective, clear goal with 1,000 people, you'll get 100 different ideas. And then you let them compete each other out. One of the difficulties, and I write about this in my last book, Bold, is that most people, when they're trying to solve a problem, say, you got all the money you want, all the time you want, all the resources you want. And people are lazy. They'll use all the time, all the money, all the resources, and you'll get very incremental progress. If you really want true innovation, you want something that's very different, you need to constrain the problem, hyper-constrain the problem. You say you don't have a year and $1 million, you've got a week and $1,000, fix the problem. And most people will say it can't be done, but the people that accept the challenge have to throw the old way of doing it out the door and try crazy ideas. And occasionally the crazy idea will work. So when you're looking to solve a big problem, don't think out of the box, think in a very small box. And that's what X Prizes do. They introduce very significant constraints of here's the amount of prize money, the prize is over in this amount of time, and this is a really difficult problem. And it forces people to come up with non-traditional approaches, because that's what you want. You don't want the same old shit being used, right? You want to be able to actually get people to try new approaches. And the constraints is what forces people to let go of what they're comfortable with and try something that ultimately is crazy. And again, like Burt Rutan taught me, the day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. So let me mention something else. I have gotten most of my best ideas from reading books. Books are, for me, a conversation with the author. It's a chance to explore an idea, hear their ideas, and iterate on ideas in this conversation. For me, for example, The Spirit of St. Louis, Lindbergh's book on his journey, was what gave me the idea for the X Prize Foundation. Robert Heinlein's The Man Who Sold the Moon was the book that gave me the idea for Planetary Resources and Google Lunar X Prize. And The Singularity is Near by Ray Kurzweil gave me the idea for starting Singularity University. So one of my greatest hopes is that Julian Guthrie's book, How to Make a Spaceship, will be an inspiration for entrepreneurs to go and create their next great journey, right? It's a story of having a big dream and hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock and overcoming it because it's your heart and your soul. So what I like to say to people is if you have a kid in high school or in college, this is a great book to inspire them. If you're an entrepreneur, read it to get inspiration for yourself. So proud that Richard Branson wrote the foreword and Stephen Hawking wrote the afterword. And it's a book I hope will really inspire, thousands of moonshots out there.